When I started online dating sometime after my husband died, it was basically a good experience. There was only one person who could have led me into a scam, but I was alert and I stopped it before it went anywhere. In any case, I don't want to discourage anyone from online dating at our age because it can turn out very well. I did find my husband that way. However, you need to be alert for catfishing. I did not even know what catfishing was when it happened to me. I only learned that terminology later. But catfishing is the process of luring someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona. Now, I've taken notes, so excuse me if I look down occasionally, because I thought this through and decided that there were quite a number of things I wanted to tell you to alert you so that you won't ever get scammed. I can't say you won't ever get scammed, but at least you will have been forewarned. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already and give me a like. So I had a total of 17 dates, and I did a video on these 17 dates, which I'll put the link below if you want to go back and look at it. And they were all fine dates. There was one person who was kind of rude, but no problems. And the catfisher, actually, I never met him, but I want to tell you the story of how it went. I saw his photo online, and oh my, he was extremely handsome. So be alert to that. If someone looks too good to be true, they just might be. And he was younger than me. His profile read beautifully. He seemed to have all the same interests that I did. We exchanged a few messages, and then he asked me to switch over to texting. He said it would be easier for him because he was in the military stationed in Syria. Another red flag. Many of the catfishers will tell you they're in the military and they're overseas. I didn't know any of this at the time. Did I tell you he was younger than me? I mean, quite a few years younger, so I was very flattered that he was interested in me. Yeah, right. We started texting, and we text several times a day, which is also a sign of a possible catfisher. They want to get you off of the service where they have some safety provisions on the dating sites. They want to get you off onto your own phone. I didn't know that either. But we were texting. It was fun. I was having a good time. He was very attentive. And he gave me this sad story that his wife and daughter had been killed in a car accident. So, of course, I knew he was single. But then again, this is another red flag where they don't want you to have any ability to track them down through relatives. I didn't know where he was living. I mean, you can't find someone in Syria in the military, so that was perfect for him. And he got very serious very fast. He was expressing the fact that we had this wonderful connection. And I think as we went on, he mentioned the word love at one time. Again, this was all very flattering. I was very needy at the time. I was still at the end of grieving. I wasn't over it yet. And so I was very lonely. And hearing these kind of things was just so wonderful. Now, the first time that I was troubled was when he sent me a song, and it had explicit lyrics. I know this because I went online and looked at the lyrics, and I couldn't believe it. I did not like that at all. And I didn't answer his texts for a while. And when I did, I told him I wasn't, happy with that. And so he apologized and said he thought it would, he would make me happy, but, he was sorry. And I thought, that was kind of strange. And it could be that he was realizing that I was getting suspicious, because it wasn't long after that he told me a story about saving the life of a sheikh's wife and family. And the sheikh was so grateful. He had given him a suitcase full of gold. And he showed me the photo, and it was a distant photo. I couldn't tell if it was him or not. And there were several sheikhs in the photo. Soon thereafter, he told me that, when he got out of the military, which supposedly was going to happen in a few months, he would be retiring and leaving the military, and he would be somehow unable to bring this gold over to the USA. And I can't remember why it was. It doesn't matter. And something about he needed someone to accept it. Again, the big red flag. And you can go online and read about all the things you should be looking for. I didn't have that option. This was a few years ago, and it wasn't as well known. I'm not even sure that word was used, catfishing. But now there's plenty online for you to read. I'm just telling you my experience, and because, it makes it more real. This did happen to me. Okay, that did it for me, because all I could think of was a suitcase being delivered to my door from Syria, filled with gold, and I'd probably have the Secret Service, the FBI, I would probably be arrested. But even if that wasn't a worry, I wasn't about to do that. Come on. And yet there are women that do accept packages. The next step would probably be that I would have to pay a fee to send this, because he couldn't do it from his end. Oh, please. And people do this. They pay this fee because they have fallen in love with this person. So I decided I was ending it right then and there, but I realized that he had my cell phone number. He knew my first name, and I think he knew my last name. And I thought, oh dear. So I have to be careful what I say. I don't want any repercussions. So I decided I wasn't going to say, I can't do that, because then he might say, why not? So I told him, I won't do that. And he wrote back and said he was very hurt. And yes, but okay. And then I decided I had to end this. I said, well, I hope to see you in May when you return, knowing full well I was never going to see him and he was never going to see me. But I thought I need to end this, so, because he has my phone number. I don't know if he could track me down or what. I don't know who he is. And he said, yes, hopefully will see me. Okay, that was the end of it. He immediately took down his Match.com profile. I notified Match.com, and basically they listened to me and said, yes, there's nothing we can do. It happens all the time. That's why we constantly warn people not to send money to anyone they meet online. Well, I would never dream of sending money, but there are people that do. And they do have warnings all over, and there's nothing they can do as a service if you choose to send an unknown person money. After that, I did find a website where a military woman exposed what was going on, and she was trying to help people not get scammed. She said that these men are, first of all, she showed a picture of a man from a third world country, this scrawny kid, maybe 22 years old, who was caught doing this. And nothing like the photo that had been posted. I learned that they steal photos off the internet and pretend to be that person. And that's the catfishing. That's what it is. And they lure you with this photo of this really handsome man. Although there were no grammatical errors in his profile, in profiles that I read later on, I did see a kind of stilting of the English language, which would come from someone who did not have English as their primary language. So if you read carefully, you can just see the just little nuances of the writing that perhaps that is not their first language. So look for that. Also, I found out that you can do a reverse photo search on Google. And later on, when I saw a photo of a really, really handsome looking man, and I was skeptical about his profile, I went to Google, I clicked on image, and there is an icon on Google that you can click, and it's search by image, and it asks you to upload an image, and it will search the internet and try to find if that photo is on the internet. Now, I did this about 5 different times and nothing came up, but one time it did come up, and it showed that the man was an executive in Canada, and the person who was catfishing me was not a Canadian and was not an executive. So I just went right past that and didn't deal with it. So it's very prevalent, and you need to just be alert. There's also another site called socialcatfish.com. I haven't tried it, but I saw that it is also available to be used for a reverse lookup, and you might have to try that at one point. So that's my story. Nothing happened, and I learned what to look for in the profiles and how to protect myself. And I ask you to do the same if you are using a dating app and you're my age and you're vulnerable like I was. All I can say is just be careful, but don't not do it. Just be careful. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and give me a like if you did. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.